Welcome to In Focus. I'm your host, Phan. Giant squid fishing, it's something I've never done but was willing to try. After hearing reports that they were spotted off the coast of Southern California, I hopped on a fishing boat courtesy of Dana Wharf Sport Fishing to see what all the excitement was about. I think for sure it was more than I bargained for. Humboldt squid. They come around every once in a blue moon, but when they do, so do the sport fishermen. They line up at the wharfs, gear in hand, ready for a night of fun and fishing. We will be going along to catch the excitement, and we are assigned to the Clemente. It is a good-sized boat and one of several that would take dozens of families and fishermen out to sea to fish. I board the boat not knowing what I was in for.
I brought my son out tonight because they've been catching a lot of squid, and we enjoy this a lot. And so I've been setting this up. I've set up 3 different rigs. The smaller rig for my son, it won't go quite as deep, and the larger rigs for me, which will go deeper and get bigger, hopefully bigger squid. And these jigs, they glow in the dark. So they go down and they glow, and that's what brings the squid to them. The squid will grab hold, and they don't actually bite it, they just grab hold and hook on. And you just reel them in and bring them up, and you get them here, and they gaff them and bring them on board. And then you have calamari.
There is no limit on the number of squid a person on boat can catch. So if you're good and lucky, you could walk away with months worth of squid.
I've come out many times. I come fishing a lot. I come fishing on this boat quite a bit. I live locally, so my son and I, it's something we get to do together. It's a lot of fun, and we really enjoy ourselves.
Catching squid requires a special bait known as a jib. Its glow-in-the-dark property is what attracts the squid to the surface.
When you're fishing for squid, you only use, or primarily use, just the jigs, because they come up, they're attracted to the color, they latch on, and basically they think it's a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and they hold on. And you reel them in, and then they find out that they're stuck. That's terrible, but that's the way it is. That's exactly what's happening.
They're not even looking for food; they just think it's a girlfriend.
Right. They basically think it's they think it's a mate because it glows, and squid are known to change colors depending upon the attitude that they have. I mean, they have documentaries where you can watch where the squid will come around and they'll get mad and they'll turn bright red or bright green or change very, very bright, vibrant colors, and especially in the deeper waters.
So, how long will one big giant squid last?
To eat? Oh gosh, probably. Well, I usually cut them up and make sandwiches, and I freeze them. I vacuum seal them and freeze them. Probably 3 months, 2 months, because depending upon how often you eat them. You know, I don't eat them very often. My wife doesn't eat it at all, so my son will eat it, and I'll eat it. And my daughter, she might take a bite, but if you go in the restaurant and you order calamari, they're the small squid. These they're this big. So the calamari rings you would get from these would be this like a pizza. They're huge. So and they're a lot of fun to catch. It's a nice bite.
Before the boat goes out, they stop at a bait barge to get some chum or anchovies to release in the water to attract the squid. It is a seamless process of a series of handoffs from the deckhands. They must be very careful since any violent or sudden movements will kill the fragile fish immediately.
The boat pulled up to a bait barge, and they have sardines that they've netted out in the open ocean. They bring them into the bait barge, they let them rest there for a couple of days, and then they load the sardines or the anchovies into this bait well, and they will do what's called chumming. They'll throw sardines and anchovies out into the water, hopefully attracting the Humboldt squid that'll come up to feed on the sardines. The Humboldt squid are easier to catch if they're not so deep. When they're real deep, it's a real struggle to bring them up into the boat.
Fishing every year?
It's not every year that the Humboldts occur here in these waters. But we have fished them many times in the Gulf of California, in Baja California, and this is my first time actually off my native coast here in California for fishing Humboldts. However, there's been recorded incidents of the Humboldts coming into this neighborhood occasionally throughout the last 100 years. They'll come up every so often. And now is just one of those lucky times where they're very close and we're able to go fish them.
Are you excited about it?
Very excited. They're delicious. They're fun to catch. It's a great thing for kids because they're very large and yet they're relatively easy to catch also. So a kid can come out here and get a real workout on one of these squid and catch something that's 5-6 feet long and weighs 60 pounds, and it's not as to catch another 65-pound fish could be a little harder for a young person to do. So it's great.
And do you have any tips or secrets to how to catch?
Oh, there's plenty. The deckhands on these boats are always helpful and friendly, and if you just ask them anything that you need, they'll take care of you. Their job is to make everybody happy. They're very knowledgeable, and so beginners shouldn't be shy about asking either someone they strike a conversation with on the boat, somebody they're standing next to, or one of the deckhands. People generally will help you out, and so I just recommend to improve your techniques. You just learn from other people.
Let me just say here that within 10 minutes of leaving the shore, I started to feel queasy, and I knew I was in trouble. The boat is pretty big, but the waves are just killer.
This is where the calamari steak comes from. It's a very palatable product, excellent eating, very easy to prepare. And it's been a lot of excitement for everybody here. We're in the dead of winter, and the most time this time of year, with closures towards the rockfish industry, we've had nothing to fish for. So having these Humboldt squid or giant squid move in has given us something to do. And as you can see, the people needed something to do. Dana Wharf Sport Fishing has applied a fee to come out and do this that meets the economy. At $25 a person, you can come out here from Dana Wharf Sport Fishing and fish giant squid.
This giant squid run has been a boost in the fishing community, and they are grateful for the business.
Right now, we have, at Dana Point Harbor, we have 5 boats fishing, which the way last summer was going, we were happy to get 2 or 3 boats out for our normal fishing. So you can see this is a great surprise to everybody. It's bringing people out of the woodwork to come out and catch these things.
Because the squid migrate, you can never tell how long they will stick around for or predict when and where they will come.
We have no idea. Tonight could be the last night. We could catch a couple and it could be over. It's kind of hard to say what the currents are going to do and whether or not the squid are going to move up and down or in and out the coast. We've had times where they've moved in and we've caught them during the summer months where we have them for 3 or 4 or even 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden overnight, like a switch, they're gone. So you just really don't know when they're going to move, when they're sitting at such a depth where it's impossible to track them. We know they were here because the marine mammals were feeding on them that were out here, the Rizzo dolphins. A couple of boats came out on an exploratory trip and started catching them, and then the word spread like wildfire.
Jumbo squid can reach up to 6 feet and weigh as much as 100 pounds, but these that they catch on board tonight average roughly 20 to 30 pounds.
They can range up to, and I've heard stories of them getting over 100 pounds, but on an average, they're going to grow to be about 80 pounds, and they're only going to live about a year and a half, and that's it. So they're going to be from a larva state, or from an egg actually. They're going to hatch, they're going to grow, they're going to spawn one time, and then they're going to die. So it's almost like a harvest. They go through, a 1-year cycle. They go from juvenile to adult, they spawn, and then they die. So they grow very rapidly. They're big eaters, so they'll eat anything in their path.
Including each other?
Oh yeah, they'll eat each other, yeah.
Can you talk about that? I just heard someone say that they're carnivores.
They're carnivores, yeah. Now I don't think that they necessarily pick each other out when they're in their prime before they spawn, but after they spawn and they start to weaken, then the others will then eat the weaker squid. Now, even as we catch them right now, once we start, hopefully they start biting a little bit better, they'll actually start eating, they'll start biting the ones that are hooked because they look wounded. Just follow me? So when they're healthy and schooling, they're not eating each other. But as soon as one looks wounded, he's a goner.
Coming up after the break, see who catches squid and how many. You won't want to miss it. Stay with us.
SBTN là đài truyền hình Việt ngữ đầu tiên phát hình 24 giờ qua hệ thống DirecTV và cable trên toàn cõi Hoa Kỳ và Canada. SBTN phục vụ khán giả hàng ngày với lượng tin tức cập nhật sáng, trưa, chiều, tối, dồi dào, đáng tin cậy, cùng hàng loạt tin tức địa phương từ Little Saigon, San Jose, Dallas, Houston đến Washington DC, Boston, Toronto và Việt Nam. Phim bộ hấp dẫn lôi cuốn, cải lương đặc sắc, tâm tình nghệ sĩ thú vị, vui tươi, nhạc yêu cầu thấm thiết chân tình, thể thao văn nghệ đời sống sống động hào hứng, Victoria Show với thế giới điện ảnh kỳ thú mới lạ. SBTN luôn đồng hành với khán giả qua các diễn đàn và những phiên phóng sự nóng bỏng, ghi nhận các sinh hoạt văn hóa, giáo dục, chính trị, xã hội của người Việt khắp nơi trên thế giới và tại quê nhà, cùng với những nhận định thực tế, sắc bén của các thức giả đương đại. SBTN đáp ứng nhu cầu của mọi giới, mọi lứa tuổi qua các chương trình tìm hiểu luật pháp, di trú tị nạn, sức khỏe và đời sống, thể dục dưỡng sinh, em học tiếng Việt, lịch sử Việt Nam, hàng loạt chương trình giải trí phong phú lành mạnh như Người mẫu Việt Nam, Hành trình xuyên Việt, sân khấu cuối tuần, cùng với các cuộc thi thố tài năng hào hứng sôi nổi qua các show Đố Ai, giải sáng tác hay nhất, giải những thước phim vàng sẽ lần lượt khởi chiếu trên SBTN. Mọi chi tiết về chương trình, ghi danh quảng cáo bảo trợ xin vào website www.sbtn.tv. SBTN hân hạnh giới thiệu DVD Người mẫu Việt Nam với cuộc thi tài sắc đầy hào hứng của 20 cô gái Việt trẻ đẹp, duyên dáng cùng chương trình ca nhạc đặc sắc với sự góp mặt của các tiếng hát trẻ trung được ái mộ nhất hiện nay: Thiên Kim, Lâm Nhật Tiến, Quốc Khanh, Đoàn Phi, Nguyễn Hồng Nhung, Christine Sa, Như Quỳnh, Đan Nguyên. 20 kiều nữ Việt, 20 niềm hy vọng, nhưng chỉ có duy nhất một danh hiệu Top Model, nên họ đã trải qua nhiều thử thách gay go, sôi nổi, phô trương những nét tuyệt mỹ và tài năng, đặc biệt nhất qua các chương trình biểu diễn thời trang và phong cách.
We're lining up to go out on the runway, and then we heard this boom.
It's actually my mom's idea. She knew that this was a passion of mine since I was very young.
Kính thưa quý vị, người đã thắng giải Top Model năm 2008 là thí sinh.
Ai là Top Model 2008? Hãy mua DVD Người mẫu Việt Nam do Trung tâm Asia phát hành ngày 31 tháng 12 năm 2008.
Welcome back to In Focus. I'm your host, Thuy Phan. Before the break, we got a chance to see how these fishermen get ready for these giant squid. In this segment, we'll see how the night unfolds and who will walk away with calamari for months to come. Once the captain finds an area that he deems is good for fishing, he will idle and let the fishermen drop their lines.
It's a series of barbs, so to speak, different than a barbed hook. There's on each row there's about 25 barbs that come up off the jig, and it basically snags the squid. And by having so many barbs come out of the squid jig, it enables the angler to hold on to the squid longer, to keep them hooked better. By just using one hook or a few hooks, their membrane or their flesh is so soft that it would just tear out. So by having all these hooks, you get better penetration and you can get them to the surface. The squid jigs range anywhere from a little 3-ounce all the way down to, you know, pound and a half squid jigs.
So how many days have you guys been going out with these?
It's been a week. We've been doing this for about a week solid now. 6-7 days. Yeah. And we've caught them every night so far. And, we've actually had them bite a couple times during the day, where boats came out and caught them during the daylight. So you don't actually have to do this at night. It's just a little bit more productive because they're drawn by the lights to come closer to the surface.
If within a certain amount of time they don't catch any squid, the captain will rev up his engine and move to another location with the hopes of finding some squid there.
Do you want to see?
And the first one of the night is caught. You can tell by the cheers around the boat that someone finally got a bite.
Hold it up for him.
Look at the camera. You're on camera, man. Look at the camera. Woo! He said he wasn't going Anybody want a squid? Yell out a number!
Yeah, we're on the board here. We've hung a few, but we've only got one on the boat here.
So the way it works is anglers drop their line and wait for the tug. Then they start reeling the squid in. Because they are so large and are at such a deep depth, it takes a lot of reeling and patience, not to mention strength, to get them to the surface. But once they do, that's when they yell for the deckhands to come and pull the squid out of the water. The squid are then placed into burlap sacks that are labeled with a number that each fisherman is assigned to. At the end of the night, they'll then cut them up right on the boat before they return to shore.
That one isn't one of mine because it was bad. I'm sorry.
If you watch carefully, you can see his reel and see how far the line is actually going.
We're going deep.
How many feet?
The last stop they were down there at 500 and didn't get anything. We're probably close to that here, 300-400. Let's see if I can find one in the water column that deep.
Oh, there's a fresh one.
There's one hanging right here, 4 poles down.
Oh, there we go.
All right, finally left.
Sorry.
Oh, you're all right, partner. Where are that, dude? Huh? Where are they? They come, and what happens is they fill with water and then they shoot the water out. So it's like jet propelled. The water shoots out and they can go fast, then you pull them back, and then they'll go fast, and then you'll come back, and then finally you'll get them out. That's not one, Tim. I'm on the bottom.
I don't know, pretty deep, over 150.
All right, ball. There we go. Yeah. Yeah.
You got one too?
Yeah. Woo! It's like all of a sudden you hit a wall. Yep. Come on, baby. I'm trying. Look at your pole.
Are you kidding me?
Nice.
More than?
I don't know who's winning here.
Either that, I got my grandma. I'll be here a while. Oh man.
It's gone. It's gone. Came off.
Okay, so back to me for a second here. Originally, I was told that the boat trip would last from about 5:30 to about 8:30 at the most, and we left at 5:30 on the dot. 10 minutes in, I started feeling seasick, and the captain gives me this advice.
Look at the lights. Just try to stare at the lights. Don't go inside. That's the worst thing you can do.
Oh, really?
Don't go inside because you don't get the fresh air, and so you'll get sick right away.
It didn't help. From that moment on, I was praying for 8:30 to come around and for us to get back on land. But because they weren't catching as many as they wanted, the captain decided to move to different areas and to continue fishing until they couldn't find any more. So to make a long story short, I was dying on the boat while people were joyfully catching giant squid. The end couldn't come soon enough. Humboldt squid are notoriously aggressive and have earned the nickname Diablo Rojo, or Red Devils, from Mexican shrimpers. They also change colors depending on their mood and will go from white to red.
How we doing here, guys? You got free. You're free. You got slack. Quality is inside. Hold on. I gotta get this cameraman working my squid here. I get a picture of me and squid. I've got a swivel. We all got swivels, the three of us. All three of us. You got a swivel on, Wes? No, I don't have no swivel. Okay.
Can I touch his tentacle?
Yeah, we gotta hurry. We're gonna be running all around.
Oh! The tentacles fell off.
It has a pink in it. Oh, no problem, dude.
Holy cow! Ink, see the ink. See, look, Zach, see it blow up? Yeah.
Here, bro, grab this.
Here, tie this on for her.
Oh, I got a good picture. How was it red?
I got one right here.
What's yours?
What number are you? 51.
It was brown.
All right, whoever has that big jig.
That's me. Free spool. Let me get in here, guys. Free spool. Let me get in here. Oh, you got him?
There's one more.
There's two of them. Where you at? Right here. Right here. Over here. Over here, partner.
Gotcha.
Here we go. Everybody's got a lift. Let's just all come over for a second.
After all the fishermen are done for the night, the deckhands will clean and gut the squid for them. They are cut into steaks, and the rest of their bodies will be thrown back into the ocean for other fish such as whales, sharks, and seals to feed on.
I'll be right here for you. You got it, buddy.
By the end of the night, just about everyone caught at least one squid. For those who didn't, other fishermen graciously shared their catch, and I was happy to see land. Let me just say that the idea of going giant squid fishing was a good one. I just didn't factor in my propensity to get seasick. That was by far the longest night of my life. However, it was a learning experience and it was extremely interesting. Maybe next time I'll just wait on the dock for the fishermen to come and film them on dry land. Until next time, we hope you learn more, live more, and as always, stay in focus. Thanks for watching.